Hoping to take part in a tourney and nothing more, Raewyn set her sights towards 9 stars. However, it was not to be. An altercation with a relative of the Lord's had Raewyn defending her life, trial by combat, in front of her peers and the Lords of the Vale. Raewyn's challenger was not well liked, and when he fell in battle, cheers erupted. It would seem, for now, that Raewyn was victorious. However, before long, the brothers of this lord turned their anger and ire towards Raewyn. Refusing to accept the ruling of the trial, they chased her and her band down. Raewyn stood with her supporters and fought the 2 charging knights, defeating both of them and elevating her to new renown. A champion of the people, a champion of the Vale, Raewyn Celtigar was becoming well known for her honor, something that surprised even her.
Congratulations on your victory again, my lady. It was no small task. Thank you, Alan. It would appear that the gods heard my prayers and they were with me. I won't lie, I was concerned, but we prevailed. It all turned out well in the end. I didn't exactly mean to kill the younger brother, but, well, from what we've learnt, it sounds as though it won't be that much of a loss. That being said, we should not linger in the Vale for long, and I don't believe we'll need to. I received a raven this morn. Castle Black requests our assistance. Directly this time. It would seem that our journey across Westeros has been spread far and wide. Those songs that Cyril sings have been travelling far and wide. I've never been to the north, but I've heard many stories. Not all of them pleasant. Well, who needs to be nice and warm anyway? In all seriousness, though, I think it might be for the best. It will give a chance for the other lords to cool down a little. It will get us separation from the Vale, separation from these murders. But they were in self-defense, my lady. Aye, that they were, but one could very easily spin it another way if they wished it. North would give us a good chance to train up some troops as well. Aye, that's your right, Alan. Tywin will be eagerly awaiting our return, no doubt. Let us hope, for our sake, that we can bring him the troops he needs. All right, you lot, prepare the others. Let them know that we'll be riding north.
Aye, my lady, right away. As you request, they shall be commanded. Kia ora, guys, gals, and legionnaires. Rykon here, and welcome back to Raewyn's Tale. We are here in a Clash of Kings, just outside of 9 stars. We survived the tournament, we survived attempts on our life, and now, with our troop, we are going to be riding north for the first time, making our way through this kind of treacherous region here, up to Moat Cailin, and then beyond, all the way up to Castle Black. Yes, we've received word from the Night's Watch that our aid is still required, and they've asked specifically for Raewyn and her band to assist them. So we're going to do all that we can to do exactly that. It's going to be a fairly long ride for us to make it all the way there, but it's one that's going to be potentially eventful, and it would seem that we're not going to be able to make our way around the side here, so perhaps travelling across the port to White Harbour might be what we need. And along the way we have discovered something. A clansman's lair. Now, these are clansmen in here, not the clansmen you're thinking of, but we might be able to make something of an assault here. We would be attacking with reduced numbers, but it's a chance for us to, well, remove them from the area and at the same time earn, well, a reward from what we're able to find, although it looks like we are in this rather difficult position that I am not too fond of. Although, it looks like these clansmen primarily do not use bows, which, if that's the case, I'm going to be very, very happy. Because we could be very easily mowed down here. Okay, yeah, we can deal with this. Alright, Lion, I want you to stand right here. And we're going to start to get ready to take on those that make themselves known to us. Okay, we got a fair few. If the rest of them could appear from the trees any moment now, that would be fantastic. My friend, unfortunately, going to be alone for now. Until the rest of our troops decide to join us. Which I'd love them to, but I'm afraid that they're stuck behind trees right now. So we're going to have to coax them out. Come on. The things we have to do to survive, eh? Okay. Well, we could very easily become overwhelmed here, but thankfully our armor is actually really quite good as well. Come on. There we go. Stand our ground. Raewyn, way to go. Oh, you decided to come out now. Well, that's fantastic. What about the rest of you? You're still here. So let's go try and see if we can pull them back for now. Everyone, move back. And let's get you to move across to here. This is like a little bit of ballet that we have to do to get this to work. Here we go, team. Here we go. Alright, so there's going to be a lot more of them here. Our shield has taken a little bit of a beating. But with everyone, I reckon we should be able to take them down. We're actually going to issue a charge at this point. No doubt there are going to be other clansmen that start to appear. But we'll do our best to take them down. Oh, just like that, 76 damage. Something else that we haven't done yet is have a look at those new blades, which we most certainly are going to do. There we go, team, you nearly got them. Okay, we do have more joining the battlefield. We can't get too cocky here, which I think we're getting a little bit. We'll save lives where we can. There we go, Raewyn. They're facing the wrong way. Ooh, clips me a little bit. We do have others appearing. I'm not sure who we have helping us out at the back there, but they are doing a semi-decent job as an archer. Take them down. There we go. Oh, Jasper Rivers, you're level 10. Look at that. And we have succeeded in our attack. Coming away with some perfume and some arbor wine. Very nice. We actually don't have that much space here, so we're probably going to have to get rid of some things that aren't worth all that much. I definitely want some sausages, but looking at the rest, we can probably live without them. Wouldn't mind getting a jar of butter, because that will help improve the morale of our men. We still have a fair amount of food with us, but something that we kind of need to pay attention to. They are pretty much just eating bread for now. It's not the greatest meal in the world, so we're pretty close to these ports. It should be easy enough for us to set sail from here and ride on across to White Harbour. We will stop in by some villages along the way, spreading our tale, our story, and actually, let's go ahead and level up Sir Jasper Rivers, and we're going to have a look at those blades at the same time. Your skill, my friend, is growing more and more. Level 20 on his strength now. We should be able to get him equipped with some pretty damn decent armor in time. Looks like you're rocking a polearm as well. We'll go ahead and increase that a little bit, but focus primarily on that one-handed weapon skill. He doesn't have a shield yet either, something that we definitely need to get him going with. Okay, so we have our balanced arming sword, but we have these two new swords. The Bastard Sword is what we're going to be able to wield with one hand. We can see that its swing isn't actually as good as the arming sword, but its thrust is better. Overall, I actually think that our sword is better than the Bastard Sword. We've got 27 and 34, 36 and 31. We tend to swing more often. Now, the reach on this is 115, and the speed rating is less, so it has more reach, but we can't swing it as fast. It's still a good weapon, it's just maybe not the weapon for us. It's a weapon that we can give to someone else. Okay, having a look at that, maybe we can give you, sir, a shield, good sir. We'll have a look at your equipment. Can we get you that? Yes, we can. There you go. So he's primarily going to be using that shield, the light spear on horseback. But there you go, you've got that as well. Do we have anyone that's using two-handed weapons? Not really, but I suppose we could. Aelin, maybe we could get you rocking a two-handed weapon. Yeah, I like the sounds of that. Let's have a look at your equipment. So we're going to go ahead and take that arming sword, place it down a little bit. We're actually going to give you the great sword. There's a lot of potential damage that can be done with that thing. If you have a look at the swing, and yeah, I mean, it's great. It's a two-handed weapon. It's going to do a fair amount of damage to whoever gets struck by this thing. Now, we could potentially use it ourselves. I never actually really thought about using a two-handed weapon with Raewyn. It's possible. We don't always make use of our shield. I'm tempted now. I am tempted. You know what? Sure. We're going to give it a go. It might be a mistake. We'll find out eventually, though. Everyone else is looking pretty good with their blades. I don't think we're going to want to try and give the war mace to anyone else right now. But with that, well, we might have a chance to try that out. Let's continue on to the port and continue on towards White Harbour. We can see that the fingers are narrow peninsulas of the northeastern vale of Arran, which extend out into the narrow sea and the shivering sea. Upcliff, an old castle by the sea, is where the reputed sorceress Ursula Upcliff held her husbands as thralls and declared herself bride of the Merlin King. The area around Upcliff is perfect for longships seeking a place to wait out the storms. Now, Upcliff is somewhere that we actually heard there might be the book. Right. So these would be considered to be Upcliff, I suppose. Yeah, it might be worth us just stopping into the Sisters to see what we can find. Alright, let's go sail on over. Okay, and having arrived, let's have a look at Little Sister, which I think is just going to be a castle more than anything. We will head over towards Tenby and Old Barrel, just to check in with the towns as we do. Just spreading word of our good deeds, our victories, Cyril singing our songs. We'll go to the village centre here. I'm just slightly intrigued by this place, but it looks like it's regular, like the rest. Check out that blade though. That is quite something else. It's very slow to swing because our skill isn't that great with it, but we'll get there eventually. Let's have a chat to this village elder. Right, nothing immediately sticking out to us here, so we'll go ahead and leave it behind. We'll go check out Sisterton, which is the main city here, and hopefully we might be able to find something in the tavern, perhaps someone to recruit, or, well, a little bit of news about this book that we were seeking a while ago. I somehow doubt that we will, but we never know. And we have arrived. So first things first, let's have a walk around the streets. Godric Borrell is the lord here, and we've actually started off right inside, and it's got a very Nordic Viking feel to it. Interesting. And I'm imagining that's the main hall back here. Very cool. I like it. And my gosh, Look at that crab. That's a familiar crab. They might actually use the same image that we do. Yeah, that's quite possible. We'll have a quick little ride around the town here just to see if we can discover anything unusual. But it's quite a big place, so there's a lot to see here. We'll try not run anyone down in the streets. Before long, we will go and visit the Elder here, and then the tavern, of course. Looks like this place is partially under construction. With the ladder up there as well, though, this would be a very interesting place to have a fight. Very interesting. Yeah. We'll actually have a quick little look up here, just out of curiosity. This has been repaired recently. Very interesting. This place has been sieged. Yeah. Something, that boulder there, perhaps tore through the structure, knocking down a fair amount of it. It looks like we can kind of clamber between them. Quite a neat location, and yeah, even here, that seems to have taken a little bit of damage recently. Let's go to the marketplace first of all, actually, and we'll have a look at selling off some of these bits and pieces. The perfumes just gotta go. It's about time. I don't think we're gonna get anything more for them at this point. We could try and sell off some furs here. Again, not sure how much they're meant to be going for. The arbor wine seems to go for a pretty good price here. We'll hold on to the rest for now, but we're going to go get rid of these little bits and pieces that really aren't doing all that much for us at this point. The weapons are still valuable, those goblets not so much. The Pentoshi wine, and they have more than enough coin to make this work out for us. I'm actually going to have a look at potentially trying to start a business here. We will see, we'll get there. To the tavern, first of all, and it is quite a small tavern. Okay. Melly Waterman. Okay. Surprisingly, quite similar looking to Raewyn. Very similar. In actual fact, kind of how Raewyn looked not all that long ago. We have a system in Archer here. Let's see if we can have a chat with this Melly.
Just a moment. I'm pondering the mysteries of life. What? I'm just yanking your tail. Ain't pondering anything. Bit drunk though. What? What could I do for you? People call me Melly Warshaman because, well, it's my name. I'm a member of House Waterman. We're from the north. My brother is a sworn sword to Lord Bolton, but daughters, well, they're not supposed to run around in mail and fighting with swords. White Harbour is where most of the high-born ladies end up if they don't marry. Special sorts of women who doesn't marry, and, well, they're quite content in White Harbour. All those scepters, Used to be House Waterman held sway over much of the lonely hills, but that glorious past is, well, in the past. Well, you might just happen to fit in well in my company. Would you like to join, perhaps? Well, I would. I'm so very tired of hanging around in taverns. You don't do that very much, do you? Well, from time to time. Taverns really do get dreary after a while. I can tell you that much, Raewyn Celtigar. Right. Now, well, taverns do lose their luster after a while. Whores never do. And you see, I owe quite a large sum to one with the big airs over there. I don't think you could spare 1,300 coins for me to pay him. I've heard he once hacked a man's thumbs off for not paying him, and I rather like mine. Now, I know what you're thinking, 1,300 for one. But it's not just him, it's the wine, it's the roast swans and peppered caviar, the rest. Look, I'm a little broke. Do you think you might be able to help me out? I will earn it back, I can promise you that much. I'm not so bad with a blade and shield. Well, you'll certainly have your chance to prove it. And you say you're from the north. You might be able to help guide us. All right, here, go pay the man, and we'll be on our way. Good. Just give me a moment or two to prepare. Well, with that, we have a new recruit, one that seems to be a little similar to Raewyn. Right, very small tavern. Very, very small. We might have a quick little walk around the hall here. Very nice tapestries inside. And pretty decent armor on their guards here. We could have a chat to the Septum, see if there's anything for us to do, but we have a pretty important mission already ahead of us. So I'm going to have a bit of a chat to the Guildmaster, see if there is anything worthwhile us starting up here in terms of a business, and I'll be back in a moment. Well, after having a look at all of those, there really aren't any that are going to help us out at this stage. The blacksmith, funnily enough, was going to be the most profitable, but it's just not quite enough for us to sink in 3,000 coin at this stage. So we'll go ahead, visit some of these towns, and then continue on towards White Harbour. Well, here we go. We have arrived at White Harbour. While travelling here, we did actually manage to hit a bit of a milestone, reaching level 20 with Raewyn, and we went and upgraded our leadership skill even further, so she's becoming a better and better leader as time goes on. So we're here now, properly in the north. Let's take a walk around the streets and see exactly what White Harbour is looking like. Not bad at all. We have a mixture of long ships and regular trade vessels here. Even a small little keep out there guarding the harbour, and I really like the design of the walls here. Really, really quite cool. And we can see the sigil of the Mandalese here, and a very busy, active town. White Harbour is somewhere where there's always something going on. It's a damn big place. We have silent brothers even. And probably a little bit too much for us to actually see entirely. And, well, we're not going to make it down there. I'll tell you what, we might be able to ride around here a little bit here. And that's proper wall protection. The catapults raised up high. Or trebuchets, rather, I suppose. Very, very nice design for White Harbour here. Yeah, that's probably as far as we're going to make it, heading around that way. But I gotta say, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's duck into that tavern and see what's going on. At least this one is larger. Ah, we have a few people here, actually. Manfred, we have Martin Snow, we have a spearman from the Dreadfort, Joss the Traveller, and another Alan. Halbert Crowshead? Halbert Crowshead. There's a few people here to talk to, so, well, let's get started. Let's begin with Manfred here. What do you want? Merely to pass the time in the tavern. Do you ever have any interesting people come in here? I suppose Septon Gurmund is the man you'd want to talk to. He used to live a life of adventure down in the south. He's not here right now. Come back later and I'm sure you'll find him. Never far off when it comes to ale and wenches, even though he's a Septon. Septon Gurmund. I don't think we've talked to a Gurmund before, but yeah, perhaps you will leave and come back here. But we still have some more folk to talk to first, Martin Snow being one of them. Hello there. You look like an able warrior. You wouldn't be needing company by any chance. I might be. Who are you? I'm Martin Snow, a bastard born in the north. I am also a sellsword, which is ever more important than my birth. I've served for some time with the Second Sons, so I'm no stranger to battle. But now I seek to make my fortune, and that does not happen as a mere man-at-arms in a sellsword company. I am an able fighter, though nothing out of the extraordinary. I do find myself better than most men with a bow and arrow, and I'm also a seasoned scout, having ridden with outriders of the Stormcrows for some time. Stormcrows. Well, you seem a able enough man. Perhaps you'd like to join my company. We're riding north.
I'll be more than willing. Know, however, that I do not intend to follow you into battle if there's no hope of victory. I intend to live a long, long life. I don't require payment right away either, only that you armor and feed me.
Well, that's easy enough. You sure you don't have any, bastard children or whores you need to pay off? A nice change. Well, Martin, welcome to my company of bastards and sirs. I'm sure you'll get along well with the rest. Collect your things and we'll be on our way.
Good. Give me a few moments to prepare and I'll be ready to move.
Well, Martin decided to join us free of a charge. Very nice. Very, very nice. And finally, we have Halbert, Crow's Head over here.
What do you want?
Merely to pass the time, if you're not otherwise engaged. You look like a man who's seen things, one who might know stories. Would you care to join me for a drink?
Well, that sounds rather good. I should gladly join you. You're paying, of course. I suppose you want a story then, right? Well, I don't intend to tell you anything.
Right, I see. Okay, no story then. Well, fine, I suppose. I'm not going to buy you a drink if you've got nothing to share. Farewell. Now, I think that was bugged somewhat there, for whatever reason, but we're not going to just pick him up, especially if he is a little buggy. So we are going to leave this tavern, but we are going to come back after some time, wandering the streets, as we're going to hope to find this maester here. And that looks like that might be who we're looking for. No, there we go. No, not a maester, rather a septum. Let's have a chat. Mr. Gurmand here.
Greetings, I'm Gurmand, the septum of this part of town. I used to live in the castle, but alas, Lord Manderley does not take kindly to those who would flitch saffron from his private stores.
I see. Any news from the castle?
Yes, Raewyn. Maester Theomir had a raven a few days ago from Eastwatch by the sea. We've been told to keep a watch out for wildlings. Cotterpike writes that they've grown even bolder. One can only imagine, with the watch dwindled down next to nothing and, well, a new king beyond the wall.
Very good. And how does that affect me exactly?
We haven't seen any wildlings here for years, but we haven't had any visitors from Hillhall in quite a while either. Though they had to come here to sell their iron, they had a special relationship with the port officials for aeons and, well, had dispensation granted to them by one of the old Stark Lords. Cregan, I think. It's been much too long since they came here last, now that I think of it. Would you go to the village? See if anything's wrong.
Hillhall. Well, I suppose I could take a look, that is.
Oh, splendid. The village lies close to the Bay of Seals, north of Carhold. Should you find anything, travel back here and speak with Gerald. He's a recruiter for the Night's Watch, and he can take our findings back to the wall, along with whatever lost souls he finds in the dungeons.
Very well. I'll return once I've scouted the village.
Shadows in the night. Very well.
Let's leave for now. You know what? How are we looking? We've got a bit of funds. We might be able to afford a business venture, but that's a big might, really. Yeah, it could be worth us just holding on to that for now. What goods that we have, which there aren't many really. These Mirish carpets do sell okay here. Yeah, let's have a look at offloading those for now. You know what? I'm going to have a look. We're going to have a talk to the Guildmaster, and I'll see what we can do here.
Right, so after having a look at all of our options here, making oil here isn't actually all that bad. I'm kind of really tossing up between two different options for us here. Now, it is pricey. It is pricey. We're looking at a decent amount. We're going to get 342 back. The other option is ale. It's a lot less, a fair amount less, and we actually still get a pretty decent amount of profit. It's, more cost up front. You know what? I think we're going to go for a short-term solution here. And plus, it's going to still leave us with a bit of coin in our pocket. We're going to go ahead and start making ale here. Yes, I'm happy with that. More than happy. Good. Well, with that, we are going to be leaving White Harbour behind. Now, where can we find this place? It is going to be by Carhold. There it is, Hill Hall. That's where we're riding up to. And it's a fair way. We're going to encounter a few of these places along the way. So I'm going to ride through and visit a number of these locations. We won't be going to Winterfell as it's not exactly along our path, but the ruins of him are. So we might be able to see two of those as we make our way up towards Hill Hall. Not exactly liking the looks of that mammoth skull there, but, well, we will start our ride. Okay, and while riding about, we have had our party budget go out, but we've also had some funds come in, and we are still positive, which in my book is great. We're going to have some adding to this, another 200 coins adding next time our weekly budget rolls around, but I'm really happy with how the oil press is going and how the ironworks at the Weeping Town are going. It's really, really good, in fact, really outpacing Old Town even. Interesting. Winter is coming. The summer snows are getting stronger and autumn is approaching. Now is the time to start buying supplies and getting ready for winter. You decide we're going to buy 300 coins worth of grain. Interesting. Your men are ecstatic. This winter will be bearable. We've gained 24 renown for that. And do we have? Yeah, we've got a whole heap of grain. Very interesting. I wonder if they won't be producing as much food as we start to enter winter proper. Well, something to consider. Let's see. A singer has composed a song about your noble deeds. We decide to proclaim it as excellent. Reward him. We're going to reward the singer. We gain even more renown. We have cut ourselves a rusty knife. We're getting all the events popping up now. The wound looks fine, but perhaps it would be wise to take some precautions. You decide to smear it with honey, cover the cut with herbs, leave the cut to dry and do nothing. If it looks fine, maybe leaving it to dry would be the best thing to do rather than get it wet and seeping. We're going to take a chance. Okay? I think we're okay. We are, for now, at the very least. Let's hope that's not our undoing. And finally, as dawn breaks, we approach Hill Hall, riding through the woods to reach there. Let's see what has befallen this village. We arrive. The small village is located to the Bay of Seals, the land around sustaining very few mouths. Let us visit Hill Hall. Okay, we're on horseback and we are alone in the cold. Let's see what remains of this place. Not much, and it might have been ruins before. There we go. Looks like there are still some others surviving here, but what are we looking at here? That doesn't look good. No, that's a person that's been out here for quite some time. Unsettling? Well, who do we have here? Villager, and another villager, it would seem. Frightened woman. Let's have a talk then.
Who are you? Stay away from me.
What happened here?
Wild things, my lady. They come during the night, put the village to the torch. It was horrible.
Look, my name is Raewyn Celtigar. I've been sent to scout the village. Tell me where the wildlings went.
I don't know, my lady, but they couldn't have gone far. Mayhaps they went for another of the villagers. Greedy savages that they are. Goodwife Myra, over at Last Half, she might have heard something. She's the biggest gossip in our realm. She works in the kitchens, along with that daughter of hers. Mama always told me the kitchens are where all the important news comes from first. She should have known. Worked in one for a while.
How is it that you survived the wildling attack?
I hit atop that huge pine over there. I saw the savagery, though. 'Twas horrible, my lady. Horrible. Good wife Hannah. Look, they're beasts. Beasts in human skin, these wildlings. Sleep with giants, snarks, and worse.
I see. Well, we've found that out at the very least, and god damn, this horse. Well, it's gone now. We have to continue on towards Last Half, which isn't too far from here. Quite close, in fact, just around the corner. So, let's see if we can find this gossip that might have been able to figure out where the wildlings went to, as they would appear to be causing trouble in and around this region. And having arrived at Last Half, we can visit the kitchens. Let's just take a quick walk around the courtyards just to see what the place is looking like. And they have a great big were tree right in the center here. Last Half is looking good. The Umbers have got it going on. Not bad. Not bad at all. We have the prison guard here. And I don't seem to see anyone else or a way into the kitchens. So let's go walk on down. The kitchens of Last Half are located at the base of one of the great towers. The front is dirty, and a large hog is rotting around in the dirt for scraps. Let us enter the kitchen. Okay. Good wife, Mira. Mira? Jess, that must be her daughter. Let's talk to Myra here.
What do you want?
Have you heard of wildlings being sighted in and around this region?
Oh, gods no. I haven't seen a wildling since I was but a wee child. A big shaggy man he was. Put an axe in the blacksmith's skull.
Do you know anyone who might have heard or seen anything?
Talk to my daughter, Jess. A foolish girl. She's been talking to all kinds of travellers passing through. Been laying with a few of them as well, I should think. She'll have a swollen belly before a year's out, I tell you.
Well, you've been most helpful. Thank you.
Jess, let's have a word with you then.
What do you want, eh? Careful.
It's interesting. There's not really many choices in this, but I think Raewyn would just try and introduce herself.
Forgive me, my lady. I didn't see clearly who I spoke to. Your mother seemed to think that you might have heard something about wildlings.
Oh, yes, my lady. They come over the wall, William said. Though Halbert said they come across the bay. Then again, what do they know? Josmond said he had heard me lords talk about wildlings in the Lone Hills, close to that old abandoned holdfast.
My lady, would you fancy a tumble? You look like my type.
No, I'm sorry, we have to be on our way. But thank you.
Oh, forgive me. Anyway, let us continue on. Away from here. Jess, you were very helpful. Thank you. Okay, so from here, perhaps to the ruins of Cray. They did speak of ruins of a sorts. Oh, right. Bring at least 25 men. Well, that sounds good. In the Lonely Hills, north of the Dreadfort. Okay. In the abandoned holdfast. I see. The ruins of him, then, perhaps. Yes, north of the Dreadfort. Well, we will ride on, ride down, and see what we can find there. And as we ride on, we can find something else. A nearby man is whispering to his wife. Edging closer, you overhear parts of their conversation. From what you can make out, it appears Stannis Baratheon has laid claim to the throne. When you confront the peasant, he confirms your suspicions, declaring Stannis an ungodly man, working with demons from beyond the edge of the world, and plotting to tear down the Sept of Baelor. Well, there we go. It's all kicking off now. Dragonstone has declared war against the Westlands. It is on. Ah, interesting. This is not the place that we seek. Perhaps it is the ruins of Cray. Well, we were closer than we thought. And, in the middle of the night, we come upon the abandoned holdfast. The ruins seem to be ancient, terrain around them dotted with burial mounds. Let us enter the ruins. Okay. The snow is falling. Light is near absent. We can see someone inside a tower, long abandoned. Horse, behave yourself. Well, usually those idols haven't been good news in the past, but might change. Still, it's fair for Raewyn to be uneasy. Ruins carved on the walls, on wood. Okay. And bones. Hello, old man. That is some very interesting looking flame. What say you?
What do you want? What do you want? I saw an elk carrying a dead man in a dream.
Sorry, who are you?
None of your concern. I'm just an old man.
Let's try that again. I'm searching for wildlings. Have you seen them by chance?
I saw a fist in the snow. The dead was crawling all over it. Saw a dark shape in the north. It speaks to me in whispers. Saw wild men too, but they're my brothers now. Beneath the ground we'll lie, but not yet. When the dawn is ended, I'll have my bride, my cold bride, in the snow, in the dirt.
Look, I don't have time for your ramblings, old man. Tell me where the wildlings went. Now.
No, you can't have them. He gave them to me. They're mine to play with. In the cold north, the night rains, and then they'll kill me. A big, happy family we are. Come. I'll show you.
Ah, right. Don't like the sounds of that very much. Is that all? Or are you planning to show me something? Very well. We'll leave your presence. Horse. 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 Great. He's long gone. And, we're long gone as well. Oh. Not yet. The man is clearly mad, but as you turn around to leave, you notice a low moan. In the distance, you can hear the sounds of swords being drawn. Whether from your own men or foes is hard to tell. Suddenly, a party of your men come bursting through the trees and warn you that forces have been attacked by corpses. Just then, a wight comes stumbling out of the trees. Defend yourself. And defend we shall. Everyone, stay close. Stay close. These are more than likely deranged men that we're fighting here. Nothing more. Get ready. Get ready. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe not. Look for the ones dressed in white and slash away. That is quite the weapon there. Oh, that's a that's a straight up skeleton. Okay, wow. Okay. Yep.
Get that shield back out. We are losing some folks here. What in the hell? Okay. Surround it. Kill it. It's dead. An actual walking skeleton. We are victorious. For now. We'll take what we can. The lumber will be useful, as will the grains. That was more than I think any of them were anticipating. Or could have been anticipating. Let's check our notes. Yeah. Return to White Harbour. I think we'll be happy to do that. Especially after seeing that. I imagine Raewyn and her band riding very quickly back down to White Harbour. She is known as the Slayer of Whites. However, she never fought one before. They were just legend, a tale, and nothing more. But this was real. This had a face, many faces that came out of the white, came out of the snow, came out of the night, to face her. Emerging from the snow and into the day, it might seem like it was a bad nightmare, but it is still there in the minds of Raewyn and her companions. They lost people there. They died. It was something real. It was something that happened. Something that was beyond the laws of nature, beyond understanding. It was legend. It was story made true. The sooner they arrived at White Harbour, the better. All the while, as they rode, a cold wind followed them, constantly at their backs. And we have arrived at White Harbour, thankfully. But as you can see, many of our troops end up being injured in that fight. Many of them. We finally have our first Westerland Sergeant. We'll see if we can manage to keep them alive throughout this. But we're going to be going back to that tavern. We most certainly are. Try and put these memories behind us, but first we have to share what we know. But not yet. No, it would seem that we have some friends waiting for us. Aelin, let's do what we can. Thank you, my friend. And there are quite a few of them. Nicely done, sir. Got him. Alright, on to the next. Raewyn's enemies are growing bolder. And where they came from, we won't know. Could have been from 9 Stars. Could have been from, well, her own home isle. We don't know. We can't be certain. Let us hope that we can make it there without any trouble this time. And finally we stumble into the tavern, cold and uneasy. Let's see. Where are you? Well, here's Manfred. And there's a worried farmer here. Worried, I'm sure, for some reason. We'll see if we can assist them as well. Madam, looks like you are a lady of the sword. Someone that might be able to help us. Will you hear my plea?
What is it, my good man?
A band of brigands have taken refuge in our village.
I can help. I've helped before, and I will do so again.
We have dealt with a similar issue before. Pike Market is not far from here. Something that we will be able to accomplish. Let's have a word with Manfred here.
What?
Okay. Right. No Gurmund. Not here, not yet. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's go ahead and check those notes once again. Shadow in the Night. Gerald. Gerald in White Harbour. Perhaps in the castle then. Theomore. Here we are. Gerald. Okay, well, we haven't spoken to you yet, but he must have been investigating it. We have Sir Marlon Manderley here as well.
What do you want?
Septon German sent me.
Is that so? What does the old knave want? More saffron? Or is it one of Lord Manderley's nieces? He's got his eye on this time. Perhaps a cousin.
No, he sent me to track down a band of wildlings that had burnt a village, the village of Hillhall. My journey ended north of the Dreadfort in the Lonely Hills, where I found the wildlings. They were cold as ice, yet they still walked. Their eyes were blue, without life. They were white.
We had a raven from the Lord Commander. Thought for sure that Eamon's wits must have been wandering, but if you saw them, the same in the hills. Look, hear me, Raewyn Celtigar. I'm a learned man, and I've spent many of my years in the cellars of Castle Black, looking over old books. Whites are not supposed to be able to pass beneath the wall. It's not just ice and snow. Powerful magic was used to raise it, and it still holds to this day. These whites must have been reanimated here, not beyond the wall.
They were. I slew the man who did it. He was old. Very old.
Gods be good. Return to Septon German at once, Raewyn. He must spread the word. The villagers must be armed. The wall must hold.
Very well. I shall.
Yes, indeed, we shall. As fast as we can, back to the tavern. Back to Germond, if we can find him in here. Let's see, there he is. Good. Okay, let us speak. Yes, Raewyn?
I found the wildlings. An old man had raised them from the dead as whites. I can scarcely believe the words myself.
This is dire news, Raewyn. The seven-pointed star warns of whites and revenants, shades and snarks. We must arm the villagers, warn the lords, and someone must send a raven to the wall. Gurren can do that. And make sure our fires burn bright. Speaking of fire, I have something that might come in handy should you run into more of these creatures.
Where did you get these? This is wildfire, is it not?
Before I became a septon, I studied with the pyromancers of King's Landing. Old fools, a lot of them. When I left them, I took these pots with me. They're being a real nuisance, having to transport them everywhere in barrels of sand. I can tell you that. Look, be careful with them. They can't be refilled, and I certainly can't make any more of the substance.
Very well. Thank you.
Things are escalating, it would seem. In our inventory, we have pots of wildfire. They are clay pots filled with wildfire, a volatile, fiery substance made by the pyromancers of King's Landing. The substance is highly unstable and might easily cause damage to friends and foe alike. I am sure. Well, we have succeeded for now, but the wall still beckons. Yes. Well, at the very least we can help with something more mundane. Just bandits, right? Surely. Raewyn and her band would hope, riding up towards Pike Market, hoping to be able to fight against something a little bit more mundane. How are we looking? We do have a number of wounded men, but overall our company is still strong. This should be something we can handle, although perhaps it would be better to do so on a more healthy basis. Let's go ahead and spend some time here. Okay, and with dawn, we should be looking a little bit better, and that we are, all ready and rearing to go and see exactly what's going on in Pike Market. Alright, bandits are here. There are 36 of them. We can manage this, that we can. but we need to do so cautiously. Having our infantry waiting here, our cavalry waiting off on the side, perhaps back here if we can afford it, and our archers up here. But that infantry line is going to be very, very long because we have many villagers with us. So let's see if we can actually get them to move up here a little bit more. We really don't have all that many archers. Cavalry, all the way back here for now. I don't think we're going to be able to use you all that much. Although in saying that, we may be able to yet. But they're not in favourable positions, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and see if we can get a lance off on one of them. There we are. That's how we do. Good. Oh. Hurt me a little bit there. Alright, infantry, you can move in now. Definitely making an impact. Taking a little bit of damage, but nothing we can't handle. Let's try this out, eh? Not as much damage as we would like. Let's move around. One more left over here. Good. Clean up, folks. Clean up. There we go. That'll do something for the morale. Let's hope we didn't lose. And we didn't lose any. Actually, we didn't have any of our regular troops injured at all. 3 of the villagers were killed, but overall we did pretty damn decent. Actually, Sir Titus coming up on top there with 4 killed. Very, very nice. We are going to let them have those items. Yeah, we'll gain some honor and feel a little bit better about ourselves. But now, well, now the wall beckons, and it is a ways to the north. Castle Black. We know that what is out there is real, an unsettling thought. After all Raewyn has seen, after everywhere she has been, this is without a doubt the strangest and the most terrifying so far. But with her heart fueled by fire, and with loyal men at her side, perhaps she and her band will be able to make that difference. The Iron Crab will continue her journey north. After riding across the land, spreading tales of her slaying a wight, Raewyn never expected to face an actual creature. They were just stories, legends, but it would seem that some stories were based on fact. And the fact was, the dead walked, and they did not die easily. Their nightmarish forms would plague the mind of Raewyn and her followers for many nights to come, especially given their direction. They were to continue to ride north, to assist the Night's Watch against the king beyond the wall. It was seeming, though, to Raewyn that this king would be the least of their worries. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Raewyn's Tale. If you don't know it already, you can pick up the very first piece of Rycon Roleplay's merchandise featuring Leonidas Aventus, the Dragonborn himself. There will be more items added to the store in the coming months, all available at ryconroleplays.com/store. And finally, I'd like to extend a great big thank you to the patrons who continue to make this content possible.